We start off with news coming in from Washington, where the Capitol building has been evacuated after smoke was seen rising from behind that building. The smoke appears to have come from a fire nearby. The Washington, D.C. Fire Service immediately responded to the fire, which has now been extinguished. In fact, the fire department in a statement has said there were no injuries in the incident, adding that this accounts for the smoke that many have seen, that smoke that was seen rising from behind the Capitol building. The fire prompted a swift lockdown during the ongoing rehearsals for the Inauguration Day ceremonies. Just 2 days to go before Joe Biden is inaugurated as the next president. The Capitol building in Washington, D.C. is on lockdown owing to a security threat. Reporters at the scene say an emergency announcement was playing and the rehearsal for the inauguration has been suspended. Security is tight. Thousands of National Guard members have been deployed. An alert has been circulated to the Capitol staff saying that the complex was on lockdown with no one being allowed in or out. All 50 U.S. states, in fact, and the District of Columbia on alert for possible violent protests. Ahead of the inauguration scheduled for Wednesday, the FBI has warned of possible armed marches by pro-Trump supporters across state capitals. For more on these developments, Susan Teherani joining us from New York. Hi, Susan. Given how tense the situation is at the moment, the authorities taking no chances, the Capitol in Washington put on lockdown after that small fire nearby. What more do we know at this point?
That's right. As you can see, there is just such an air of anxiety hovering around Washington, D.C. and across the country as well. We now are finding out that that fire was coming from a homeless camp about 100 blocks away from the state capitol. And as you mentioned, authorities and security officials are not taking any chances. The Capitol continued to be on lockdown until the source of the fire was discovered, and we'll have to wait and see if further inauguration preparations and rehearsal will go as planned and finish by the end of today. Just 50 days until President Biden is inaugurated as U.S. president here in the United States, and we can see that every security measure is being taken, perhaps an unprecedented inauguration security operation happening in Washington, D.C., and with New York City helping as well. As far as we're concerned, here in New York, the NYPD has sent some 200 officers to help security operations in Washington, D.C. They will be deputized as national law enforcement, which is a first for the NYPD. Also, 100 NYPD detectives are working closely with the FBI to identify if anyone from this municipality was involved in the January 6th attack on Capitol Hill. And as you mentioned, a lot of vetting is taking place among the National Guard troops in Washington, some 25,000 being deployed there by Wednesday by the FBI. Now, it's important to note that these vetting operations do happen routinely among the National Guard, but the significance right now is the FBI is taking precautions as well, vetting these individuals in case any extremists are embedded in the National Guard troops securing the Capitol building for Inauguration Day.
All right, so security tightened across the United States. Washington, D.C. Capitol Hill building at the moment under lockdown due to a small fire nearby. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.